A Divine Mercy Parish video presentation. A short history of St. Anne Church. Once upon a time, in June 1922 to be exact, Reverend John J. Fitzgerald, of St. James Church on Harrison Avenue in Boston, was named pastor of a newly formed parish in Wollaston, dedicated to St. Anne. When the new pastor arrived in Wollaston, there was no church, no rectory. Only a geographic area carved out of Sacred Heart Parish to the north, and St. John Parish to the south. Father Fitzgerald celebrated Masses in the Masonic Building on Beale Street, later to become the home of the Wollaston Post of the American Legion, before being razed to make way for the bank building now on the site. Soon a curate was added, and a dwelling on Willow Street at Beach Street was acquired as a rectory. The house later became a parish center and eventually was sold to private parties. Within 3 years of its inception, St. Anne Parish had built a new church basement on Hancock Street, within view of the place where Captain Wollaston landed in 1625, and established a trading post at Marymount. During excavation for the church, our present edifice, many Native American relics were found beneath the soil. Ground was broken on November 15, 1924. On November 1 in 1925, the lower church was open for worship. As the parish grew and flourished, the impressive rectory building was added to the parish complex. The second pastor, Reverend James Donnelly, began his tenure on April 15, 1936 and was responsible for the erection of the church superstructure. He began it in 1940 and dedicated it on December 20, 1942. Built of Hingham granite, in pure Gothic style, it was described in the history of the Archdiocese of Boston as having a most pleasing though simple exterior and a magnificent interior, and is one of our finest recent churches. Reverend Monsignor Walter J. Leach succeeded Father Donnelly as pastor on September 12, 1951, signaling a new era in the life of St. Anne Parish. Under Monsignor Leach's direction, the parish acquired property on Greenleaf Place, later renamed St. Anne Road. 2 dwellings were raised and a wooded area was cleared to make way for the construction of the parish school. Before it was completed, work began on an extension which was still under construction, when the school opened in the fall of 1956, staffed by the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth. That first year, there was a kindergarten, and grades 1 through 6. An additional grade was added each year until there were 8. The convent, and the youth center with its swimming pool and bowling alleys, were later added to the parish complex on St. Anne Road at Hancock Street. When the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth left the parish school, it was staffed with a mainly lay faculty. The convent building became the headquarters of the Archdiocesan Catholic Youth Organization, and more recently, the Catholic Labor Guild and its Labor Relations Institute. The 18-year tenure of Monsignor Leach as pastor of St. Anne Parish was a period of much building expansion, much parish activity, and much turmoil. However, the tremendous faith of the parishioners, and the test of time, have solidified the congregation, and enabled it to be a viable unit of the church in the Archdiocese of Boston. On May 20, 1969, when Reverend Edward Flaherty succeeded Monsignor Leach, and thus became the 4th pastor of the parish, one of his first official acts was to establish the Mary Anns, an organization of women, which, until 1990, had played a key role in the social life of the parish, and had succeeded in raising thousands of dollars for various parish projects. Under Father Flaherty's direction, the school auditorium was converted to a combination auditorium gymnasium, and an athletic program was begun for the students in the school, as well as for all youth of the parish. Reverend James J. Scally, on March 19, 1974, became the 5th pastor of St. Anne Parish. He presided over the introduction of many of the ecclesiastical mandates resulting from the Second Vatican Council, including Eucharistic ministers, lectors and baptismal catechesis. Monsignor Scally also appointed the first lay director of the parish religious education program. He instituted and nurtured a Tuesday night bingo to help support the parish school, and organized several dinner dances, and other social events as fundraisers throughout the years. However, Probably the greatest attribute of Monsignor Scally was his ability and his willingness to intercede for a friend or a parishioner whom he knew to have a problem or a need. Most of these deeds were done in a very private manner. The parish was saddened by his sudden death on August 7, 1987. Reverend Thomas F. Keene was appointed pastor effective November 24, 1987. During the first 3 years of his administration, a number of new programs were initiated, including the Elderly Outreach Program, Young Adults Group, Engaged Couple Workshops and the Finance and Parish Pastoral Councils. The Parish Finance Council prepared and issued to parishioners the first ever comprehensive report on the fiscal position of the parish in fiscal year 1990. Also, the parish school introduced highly successful after-school and all-day kindergarten programs that appealed to working parents. From its founding in 1922, St. Anne Parish in Wollaston has known good days and it has had its share of bad days, but out of it all has become a great parish. People make a parish community. The people at St. Anne over the past years have weathered wars, financial crises and other adversities. With God's help, we will continue to weather problems and enjoy the good days as we carry on His work on earth. In June of 2014, St. Anne Parish, St. Mary Parish and Sacred Heart Parish entered into Phase 2 of the Pastoral Plan of the Archdiocese of Boston, entitled Disciples in Mission. The new pastoral plan would assist parishes in sharing clergy, pastoral staff and resources, as the Archdiocese confronted a shortage of priests. Father Louis R. Palmieri was appointed first pastor of the newly established Quincy Catholic Collaborative. The collaborative model served to unite the three parishes in order to enhance the liturgical, religious, and social events. Within a month, the daily 9 a.m. Mass schedule began to rotate at each parish. This change allowed parishioners to experience different churches while being served by the same clergy. Under the direction of Mrs. Sherry Kelly, one faith formation program for children in grades 1 through 10 was established. This new program allowed families of the parish to appreciate the importance of what it means to be a community of faith. Adult faith formation classes coordinated by Mr. Howard Lotus, Pastoral Associate, and Ms. Celia Sirois, and Ms. Barbara Sullivan were offered throughout the year. In 2015, the parishes began to celebrate the Sacred Triduum as one community. Social events, such as the annual parish picnic, carnival, monthly dinners, breakfast with Santa, Palm Sunday procession, breakfast with the Easter Bunny, and Choir Fest for children were either established or expanded. In March of 2020, COVID-19, a worldwide pandemic, affected every country. The routine of daily life would never be the same. Churches and businesses closed for 7 weeks. Once St. Anne Church reopened, it would take over a year before we returned to pre-pandemic church attendance. In early April 2020, facing a number of financial challenges, the Archdiocese of Boston asked the Quincy Catholic Collaborative of St. Anne, St. Mary and Sacred Heart to merge into one parish. With the approval of the Pastoral and Finance Councils, a consultation process began with parishioners. By merging as one parish, the three churches would be able to combine their financial resources in order to deal with the financial difficulties caused by the ongoing pandemic. On August 1, 2020, Cardinal Sean P. O'Malley, Archbishop of Boston, decreed that St. Anne Parish, St. Mary Parish and Sacred Heart Parish be established as Divine Mercy Parish. By December 2020, a vaccine was created and distributed throughout the world. As St. Anne Church enters its second century, we do so with faith and hope, united as one parish with St. Mary Church and Sacred Heart Church, and will continue to minister and serve future generations of Catholic faithful.